Pleasure. I am here today with you and with Elizabeth Zachariah. She has a master degree on biotechnology from John Hopkins University. She has an undergraduate degree in cell biology, molecular biology, and genetic. And also, she's a nurse, a licensed nurse practitioner. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being with us today. And I know your schedule has changed, so it's why we're doing this recording. I appreciate your time. So, Elizabeth, Debbie told us already a story how she went to see you when she was contacted by a friend regarding ASEA Redox. And she mentioned to you about Redox, and you knew about Redox. You knew what it is. So can you tell us a little bit why Redox? How do you know all this, and why Redox is so important?
Thanks, Sylvia. First, just to emphasize that when Debbie contacted me, I was working at the National Institutes of Health. And to answer your question, I also have to explain that my educational background is very much influenced by these redox molecules, because when you study cell biology and molecular biology, a lot of the pathways that you study at the cellular level involves redox signaling molecules. So anybody who is educated in this area of cell biology and molecular biology and genetics, you will have an experience of studying redox signaling molecules. That's a given. So, in addition to that, out of the 28 years that I have been doing clinical research, there were two main projects where I was part of a project where they were studying the pathway, and this is in drug development, opposite to natural wellness, but it is still something that the drug development team studies. Very often redox signaling appears in that discussion because, again, at the cellular level, many of the pathways are influenced by redox signaling molecules. I've been exposed to natural wellness, since 2006, so I'm very open. So when Debbie came to me and she said redox signaling molecules, I was very surprised, because one of the things with redox signaling molecules, which happens naturally in your body, you make it naturally in your body, is that it has a short half-life. So when she said that this company ASEA stabilized redox signaling molecules so that you can supplement it by drinking it, I was shocked because of the impact that redox ASEA will have on your body, because you are giving it what it naturally has. But remember, we live in a very toxic environment. Sometimes we're not eating good food. Sometimes you have challenges and so forth. So you're giving the body what it naturally has to do the cell-to-cell signaling, to increase your immune signals, to replicate DNA, all of those cellular level functions that need to happen. You are now what we call augmenting it by supplementing, giving yourself a bigger chance to put your body back into balance, homeostasis. You give yourself a better chance to do that. That's why it's so important and so powerful. And the only other question I had for her was, how safe is it to ingest? Because I wanted to see the safety study. So once I saw that, I started taking it 14 years ago in 2010 when she introduced it to me, because for me, I knew how powerful and how important redox signaling is at the cellular level for your physical body and your well-being. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for every cellular function, organ function, and your systematic function, whether it's your cardiovascular pathway or your neural pathway or your immunopathway. All of those pathways are impacted. So just to also, in addition to that, if you don't mind, Sylvie, I was also in my 28 years of working like a workaholic and all of that. I had my own oxidative stress in my body, and this helped me out of three challenges that I was having. Two of them was going back to homeostasis. I'm still working on a third piece, and I want to share that, not for everybody you will see an immediate response. This is not a band-aid solution. It's great if somebody has a quick response, and I think a lot of the leaders in ASEA talk about that, but you have to understand that you can't do many, 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 many years of stress on your body and then have some response like within 48 hours, 72. But even then, there such a tremendous reaction. One such story is with my daughter. She had a freak accident when she was in college, where she was walking out from her job, and her leg went through something called a manhole. It had rust on it, so her leg went through. So she had 14 stitches. So she called me from the ER. I was on the West Coast. She was on the East Coast of the United States, so we were far away. And I immediately told her to put the Renew gel on the part where they did the stitches, and then same, the Renew gel, the serum, and then I told her, make sure you're taking the drink every 2 hours. When she went back, they were very shocked how quickly it healed. And so she was a believer when such an impactful thing happened to her. The other very significant results I saw was when both my kids had their wisdom tooth taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right after the surgery, I had them take the liquid and hold it in their mouth and then spit it out, like, every 2 hours, hold it in their mouth. So it healed within a couple of days and no pain. And they did not have to take, the pain medication for more than maybe 1 or 2 doses just right after surgery. That's it. So those are the two most significant experiences I can share that had an immediate result.
Yeah.
But the other personal experiences for me, Sylvie, happens over time,
Yeah.
you know.
What would you say? Because there is some people who say, I don't think this product work for me. I don't see anything. I mean, when we see on blood work, for example, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this cannot not work in your body, considering it's in your body.
Yeah, I think, Sylvie, you said it. If you want to prove it scientifically, then you do a baseline blood work. Before you take your ASEA, do a baseline blood work. And then you will always hear it's good to do at least 90 days. Do your blood work again, and compare the values. And to 100% agree with you, this is naturally in your body. So like you said, it cannot not work. It is always working, because without that, you cannot live. Your cells are going to die without redox signaling molecules. So again, to say what you're doing is you're giving your body that extra, set of molecules, so that it's not just fighting the oxidative stress, whether if it's from your work or from eating poorly or whatever it is that you are we're in an environment where there's a lot of toxicity. That is a given. So I would agree. You cannot say it would not work. For those of you who are very scientific and you want to read the papers, I would encourage you to read the published papers by and healthy volunteers, and read up on those papers and look at the including the increase in antioxidants in your body by activating the NRF2 pathway, which is directly activated by the redox signaling molecules. Yeah, so I think I am not the only one who have really how important it is, and that this is not a hoax or a story. This is really something that is a gift. And going back, because he could have sold this to a pharmaceutical company and we could have not have access to it. Because if you go the drug development pathway, then only people who are diagnosed with the sickness, or we won't know what that pathway would have been, but I can tell you that not everybody would have the opportunity to take it like we are taking it. So uh, I would say have your own experience. If you have a question, baseline, testing by doing the blood work. That would be my best suggestion. But one way or another, after 90 days, you will start seeing more energy. Your skin starts getting better, your hair starts getting better, that you feel so much more energized. And a lot of the times when I'm with my adult kids, their friends will say your mom looks like your sister. And I tell my children, take your ASEA because you are young. It's even to do prevention by taking your ASEA.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing product. I know after taking it for 10 years, I'm very grateful for Verdi's not selling out to the pharma company, because first of all, we would not be here talking today and impacting, I mean,
Yeah,
our
it's a
health.
gift.
Yeah, it
It's
is a gift.
very much
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I'm very much grateful, just like you, Sylvie. I think a lot of us who've been taking it for a long time, we can see with no doubt, how it has impacted our lives.
And I think you were also the gift, because uh, Debbie contacted you and you validate, I mean, when we start 10 years ago, I mean, 14 years for her and you, we had no clue about Redox. Redox was like,
Right.
it's simple, it's a sudden solution, what the heck it is,
Yes, yes, Sylvie. In the early days, they said these were free radicals. They had a bad rap. It wasn't until now they are redox institutes. Is if you go to PubMed, for instance, you have thousands of papers that you can find, and researchers are very much know that the redox signaling is very important in all the pathways. But like you said, 14 years ago, we didn't have that. But those of us knew how important it was.
Okay, but listen, I know you have a busy schedule, so I don't want to take any more of your time. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for telling Davy that it was real and to go for it, because otherwise I would not be here today talking with you. Thank you again for your
Thank you.
time. And
Thanks so much, Sylvie.